Hi, this is Linz from Sweet Natured, and this is our Queen Elizabeth food and restaurant review. As always, I'm joined by Marky.
Hello.
Hello, who obviously put the video together, and this is my first time watching, so let's see what we can see.
Here we are aboard Cunard's Queen Elizabeth, Linz.
Who'd have thought it, Cunard?
I know, and we're looking at things from an inclusive and a complementary point of view first, and then we'll go into the speciality restaurant.
Yes, nibbles.
So we're starting off with breakfast in the Britannia restaurant.
Which is like their main dining room.
It is. They have different classes on Cunard.
They sure do.
From Britannia, then Britannia Club,
Yeah.
Princess Grill, and Queen's Grill, and you eat in different restaurants depending where you are. We were in Britannia, so this is the Britannia restaurant.
Now look at that Eggs Benedict, 2 Eggs Benedict.
And really nice kippers, really good proper pots of tea.
Oh, I love a pot of tea.
Look at that, you were so excited when they brought you a proper pot, weren't they?
And it was Wedgwood, it's very fancy.
It was. The restaurant were really nice.
It was so nice.
We're going to cover it off as we get into lunch and dinner a lot more. But everything was cooked really well. Even things like the black pudding or blood pudding, depending where you're from, wasn't overcooked.
No, crispy on the outside, gooey in the middle, like a sticky toffee pudding.
Lunchtime, I think it's worth pointing out that the portion sizes that they do are lunchtime sizes.
They are, they're not too overbearing.
So you don't have to go to sleep for an hour in the afternoon.
No, they were very nice, yeah, we were really impressed with the lunch.
We were. It might not look as fancy on there because that looks like a bit of tomato on a biscuit. and that's some fried calamari. But the portion size were really good. The food quality was excellent throughout all of them. We've been on a lot of cruises where the main dining room can be a bit hit and miss.
At lunchtime. Can be a bit...
At any time, if we're being honest.
Well, yeah.
And to be fair to Cunard, breakfast was great.
There was so much choice.
Dinner was great.
You could go around the world, basically. I mean, you've gone very British there with your fish and chips, but I've got a poke bowl.
You have?
Which I loved.
And a perfect lunchtime nibble. And you've still got your desserts and everything else, haven't you?
Yes, you do, which I definitely participated in.
But if you look at there for the portion for the fish and chips, it's not a huge piece of fish.
There does look to be a lot.
Hundreds of chips.
No, there does look to be shareable chips there.
Well, they were shareable in that you kept taking some to go with your poke bowl, that famous poke bowl and chips
combo.
Now, you liked their sticky toffee puddings on board, didn't you?
I did. In fact, I would say I got a bit of a sticky toffee pudding problem.
I think you did. To the point that last night you went, can we get a sticky toffee pudding? I'm like, no, it's not going to be Cunard's.
That's true.
But they made it perfectly crisp on the outside and really soft inside.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was some coconut and mango mousse. Very, very tasty. Now, for this particular meal, we were sat at the back of the ship.
Yeah.
You do get a lot of engine vibration.
There was a lot of vibration, yes.
More than we've ever had on any ship. As soon as you go a little bit further down the restaurant, you don't feel it.
No, but there was a lot. Yeah, we had a lot of waggle. I feel we were
a lot of waggle, a lot of vibration on there.
Yeah, I mean, you felt it, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, you did. But really, really
that was
good
a sandwich you had.
Before we get on to the evening meal, if I could just ask you to subscribe if you haven't done already. We put a new video up every Sunday.
We do, and thank you if you already have subscribed. But it'd be lovely if you did subscribe,
And if you do like the videos, please hit that like button. It helps us out loads.
I'm not sure you're going to like, what am I doing? I've had a few cocktails there.
As per normal.
And I won the quiz.
You did win the quiz that particular night. So we're in the Britannia on an evening meal.
Yes.
And again, you can see portion sizes, good sizes, a little bit bigger than lunchtime. Really well presented.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't remember anything coming out and it not being what you would expect in a really good restaurant.
I'm so thoughtful there. What am I thinking?
You're thinking, do I like this?
Yes, I do.
Whereas I put it in my mouth and I'm like, yeah, it's good.
Look at you,
I think that was a crab and lobster thing. Yeah.
You look real. I was so taken by you in a jacket. I mean, you don't have to dress up like this.
What about the lettuce hanging out of my mouth?
That's really attractive. But I mean, yeah, I liked it. You had to get a little bit snazzy for an evening.
You do, but that's as snazzy as you had to get apart from the 2 gala nights.
That's true. That's
so
true.
we went on this thinking that you had to wear a shirt and tie for dinner every night.
Which you would have hated.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have wanted
You
to
see
go
me
on
in
it.
a mask there because, oh, look, there's me coming back.
As you're wandering around, you wore the masks, but obviously when you sit down, then you don't.
No. What have I got now? Was it?
There's some more chips there, it would appear. I think
Chips?
it was a steak. Yeah, they're big chips.
It was a steak, and they actually asked me how I want it cooked for the main dining room, and it
did.
came out right.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. For the main dining room, you often find, because they're doing things in such mass.
Look at my little face.
I know, you're so happy. There can be a bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
But it felt like, obviously it wasn't, but it felt like every dish were cooked for us.
Oh, that was their Bakewell tart pudding. That was
It was.
divine.
I had some coconut
thing.
I don't actually know what it was.
You know,
No, it was mango.
either coconut or mango. You're not a pudding person, I've decided.
I'm not a massive pudding person.
In fact, I know this to be true. You'd rather have a starter.
I would. Although, later in the video, and it's worth staying for that, you will see my favourite pudding at the
Ever.
Verandah.
Ever that you've ever had.
In the history of puddings ever in my life.
Land or sea.
So whatever you do, don't go away too quick. And you know, just to give you an idea of the menus, you know, we generally just had an appetizer and then a main course. But of course, there's the soups and then the salads and then the main course and then dessert and then petit fours afterwards. So, you know, you really can eat as much as you want.
I'm looking at this like it's all new. Like I
You
wasn't
struggle to
there.
remember. So that was a crispy poached egg. Oh. Do you remember? It was like kind of like a Scotch egg, but it had a runny poached egg in the middle of it.
And I'm guessing I had the ham and cheese.
You did ham, cheese, and fig.
That sounds
as,
very me.
as good as it looks, I do feel that I could get that at home. I've never tried to sort of bread and deep fry a poached egg. Just getting a poached egg done right to start with is often a challenge. So really good. That was their take on the hash brown. Not hash brown. Salt beef hash.
Yes, you enjoyed that, didn't you? Very
I
much.
did. I mean, you can probably tell from my expression in a second.
And we met lovely Carl and Darren, who's on the next table at the side of us there.
We did, yeah.
Hi, Carl and Darren. Now, what we have in here, the fish. Yeah, I didn't have the fish.
No, you didn't.
I had the vegetarian.
Yeah, you had a couple of vegetarian dishes while we were
I feel
on
I
board.
need to try for the vegetarians out there. And I do like a vegetarian dish.
You do, and I tried some of yours, and they were all decent.
You're not a vegetarian dish
No,
person.
I'm not. If there's a choice of a good sort of fish or meat dish, I will probably take that. But we've been to some vegetarian restaurants that have been fantastic.
because we've been blessed to go to some really great, like Michelin star vegetarian restaurants.
We have, yeah. But again, if I've got an option of like meat, I'll probably take that.
That's me talking to Darren and Carla. So what have we got now? This is the gala dinner.
So we didn't go in here for the gala. We were just showing people because on this particular night was the second night, and I'm sure you'll tell an abbreviated version of the story in a second. But we went into Verandah. This is just a quick view that you can see of the Britannia Club. So if you are staying at the club level, you don't eat in that one. You go into this room here.
And it did look lovely, and there were lots of little tables of two, but
It
they
did.
were
It wa-
very
it
close
wasn't big
together.
in there at all.
No, it wasn't. Oh, Queen's Room afternoon tea.
So afternoon tea is an absolute staple on
Cunard, definitely.
It is the most British of British things.
Oh my goodness.
And you're going to be able to hear the march in a second when the waiting staff come out. It is very traditional. You've got some finger sandwiches, you've got some desserts, and you've got some scones with cream and jam.
Here we go.
So as you'll be able to tell, march nice and clean and everyone's clapping along.
It was lovely.
It was, and they do the parade as they then walk round, and our waiter's somewhere near the back of it, so he comes back round the other side, and then brings us our food.
He did.
And it is very much a spectacle.
And you get a teapot.
You do. They bring you the teapot straight away there, look.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at the size of that teapot.
I'm sure you could get coffee at afternoon tea. I never actually saw
Did he
anyone
take it
have
away? I'm just trying to think. Did he take the teapot away?
He did,
To
but
us?
he kept bringing it for as much as he wanted. Because the tables weren't massive.
Oh, I tell you what, they did leave. Prosecco.
They did. We'll come back to Prosecco in a second. So you can have one sandwich, you can have
I nearly
10
fingered that
sandwiches.
sandwich.
I think I had the salmon sandwich, if I remember right, and the beef.
Yes.
But you can have as many as you want. Most people just have one or two because it is designed as that.
Can I just make a valid, important public announcement here? That was covered by the drinks package.
It was.
I didn't have to pay additional.
That's for the Prosecco one.
Yes.
If you wanted the champagne, you would have paid extra.
And it'd been a 20% off job.
It is. And they
'cause
just
it's over
wheel this
$12.
round and bring it round. To
Yeah,
everyone.
no, yes, I was very pleased. But the Prosecco was lovely.
I know you were sat there with your card ready to go.
Oh, I was. Very
So
organised.
look at my sticker.
That's me all over. Look at my sticker.
But it was a really enjoyable experience.
Yeah, I mean,
we only did it once, didn't we?
yeah. And the scones were warm.
They were.
I went clotted cream jam. You went jam clotted cream. We can never agree on that.
I can't actually remember which way I went. There's a right way and a wrong way to do it,
No,
depending
there's a
which part of the
Cornwall
UK to
way
go.
and a Devon way.
Yeah,
And I don't know which way I went.
either way, we put cream on it, we put jam on it, we ate it, it was tasty. And you didn't manage to launch that over yourself then, which looked like you were going to do for a second. But it is, as it suggests, an afternoon tea. So you are, depending on which sitting you're having, you might be eating your main meal about 2 or 3 hours after this.
I'm sorry to interrupt. How much milk have I put in my tea there? That's not me at all.
No, you know that, have it?
Like a splash of milk.
Yeah, tiny little bit.
Oh, I must have been feeling very decadent. What?
Now, the Queen's Room where we're in now, that's not a restaurant. That's normally where there's the ballroom just behind, so the dance floor.
Dancing, yeah.
They have the music on there all the time. You can sit in there and they'll come and serve you drinks and things, but it only becomes a food venue for this hour or so each day.
Yeah.
You'll have seen right at the start of this, we got there about 20 minutes before it started because we'd seen those tips on other videos.
Yes.
And we can tell you for definite, about 5 minutes before it was due to start, there were no tables.
No, it was... Well, I think there was an odd couple, but they were right at the back, not
Well,
really.
they were at the far side because you've got a corridor between the Queen's Room and the other side of it.
Yeah.
They were sat in that area, weren't they? It fills up very, very quickly. We were just kind of talking, then looked around and it was full.
I mean, I liked that scone, you can tell.
And then they bring you a selection of desserts over, and again, have one of every one if you wanted to.
Did I have the little lemon cake?
I can't remember. I know I had the apple one.
I think I did. I think I had the little lemon cake a la Sansa from Game of Thrones, and you had the apple thing.
I had the little apple.
Oh, and you have proper
That didn't
crystal.
work. Try again. Ooh! You got a little ping. The buffet upon, the Lido buffet on the Lido deck.
Or Lido.
Or Lido. Lido.
Tomato. Yeah.
As with a lot of buffets at the time that we recorded this, you don't go help yourself.
No.
So it's all there, but if you go to try and help yourself, they'll come over and slap your hands. They will serve you everything. You can have as much. If you want to put 1,000 different things on one plate in one go,
a la buffet old style.
yeah, they'll let you do that. It's not a problem, but they will serve you.
Yeah.
The buffet area, we went in for breakfast on one occasion. We went in for lunch on one occasion. I don't think we ever actually went in for dinner.
I think we did.
Did we?
I'm just trying to think when we did it.
It might have been when we were on a show day, possibly, and we got back on late. But they have another area each day which is their pizzeria. Because we didn't
Yes.
think they had a pizzeria, which we thought were quite weird on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Because everyone has them these days. But it does. It's in a middle bit just before that, and you go up and order it, and you can grab a slice, or they'll cook you one. And I think you got one. It took 10 minutes?
It was about 10 minutes. I've got to say, I prefer Princess Alfredo's pizzas.
Yeah, they were very buffet pizzas. It didn't,
Yeah, I would
It
agree.
didn't seem like it was.
Special, yeah. They could have banged it out for anybody,
Yeah,
basically.
but you can see that there's some sort of ribs and some
I had the
satay.
Singapore noodles. They were beautiful.
Yeah, and there was
Look,
nothing
I'm
wrong
dressed
with
for
it.
dinner. I've got my sparkly cardigan on.
Really
so
good.
We definitely had dinner there.
One of the other popular venues for people to eat is the Golden Lion pub,
Yes.
which is very much like a traditional British pub. It's not like we've been on some of the other. I'll use pubs in quotation marks on things like Royal,
Yeah.
and they just feel like, not really a pub. This genuinely felt like a pub.
It did feel like a
down
pub.
to the carpet and the chairs, and it has very pub grub.
I mean,
So-
that's supposed to be a steak and kidney pudding. I can tell you,
It was more like a steak and kidney pie.
pie. Yeah, you had again the fish and chips. You were sponsored by fish and chips. I feel on this.
I was. There was a big gap between those two fish and chips.
Now this is the first day we got on. Is maybe?
No,
Maybe
I
not.
think it's a few days later. But they do a selection of about 8 or 9 different Bloody Marys there.
They did.
Some with sake, some with vodka, some with whiskey or bourbon. Do a really nice burger in there. Those were sharing fries again, if I recall correctly.
This was Vigo Day.
It was. We'd had some seafood on land.
Yeah.
And then when we got back on,
I
we were
went and
still a
had
bit
sticky
peckish.
tofu-
And
sticky
you had
tofu.
sticky toffee pudding.
Again.
I tried the burger.
Yeah. But I enjoyed that sticky toffee pudding very much.
They are good.
They're very, very good. Oh.
Look at your little face.
I know. Room service breakfast.
Now, room service on Cunard is free, so it's
Yes.
inclusive, which is quite unusual because most other cruise lines do charge you extra for it.
Yeah.
You've got to put the menu out the night before 11, I think it was.
Yeah, and there was a little paper hanger like you're in a hotel.
Yeah, you just fill it in, put it out.
I thought it was great.
We'd forgot that the clock went back 1 hour this particular night.
We did.
So you'll just get a glance of the window and see that it's dark outside because they came and knocked on the door and we were fast asleep. I think this was about 6 a.m.
Which would have been.
7 before.
We said 7, it was, yeah. Which,
But really tasty.
no.
So, speciality restaurant. They actually only have, on this particular cruise, one on board, which was the Steakhouse at the Verandah, which they charge $40 for dinner
per person.
per person. And if it opens a couple of times for lunch on our cruise, we didn't go for lunch. And I think that was $25 a person.
But we ended up going here 3 times.
Unintentionally.
It wasn't
we only
planned.
booked once.
We only booked once.
We'd booked also to go to the part of the Lido that they convert into a restaurant.
Ala Beach Club, what they do on P&O.
Yeah, like that. They convert part of it into there, but on that particular one, they had to cancel it.
Can I just stop you there? That is the best bread I've ever had at sea ever. In fact, on land or sea.
It is without question the greatest bread. If you disagree with that and you think you've had better bread on a cruise, you're wrong. But tell us in the comments below.
Richie's bread is better. We will seek it out and we will tell you. But
They brought a little finger
God.
box. It was like the cross between a bread and a Krispy Kreme donut
And brioche.
and smoky butter.
Smoky butter.
Now, this first night, this was Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
and also the gala night.
That's why I've got a frock on.
It is, and I've got my suit on. It was a little bit choppy that day, wasn't it, going across the Bay Biscay?
What we've learned from this is, please, we will never book a speciality restaurant when we're going across the Bay of Biscay ever again.
No matter what time of year it is.
What? No.
I think about a third of the ship didn't leave the cabin this day.
No, we spoke to a lot of people who'd not left.
The reason we ended up
I've got
going
a steak.
3 times, we got a steak platter for 2 there. I got the lobster to start with, you got the clam chowder.
I would have had that rarer, but I did have it rarer.
When I
went
say
back.
I didn't eat anything,
No.
I mean I didn't eat anything. I
You
was just
felt
getting
terrible.
greener.
You felt, and I said, please leave me to it. I'll be fine in my evening gown with a steak platter for 2. You go back to the room. And bless you, little heart, you did stay.
I stayed
You
all the
were
way
a
through.
gentleman until the very end.
And despite me filming this, I was so ill at this point.
You had none. I mean,
I ate nothing. I tried to try a tiny piece of lobster with the starter, and even that I'm like, no.
you were the colour of wax.
Oh, well, I was not.
You
a
were
healthy
putting me
colour.
up. You see,
This is why you wanted rid of me. It was you putting me off this lovely food, and you said those onion rings were the best onion rings you'd had at sea.
they were fantastic. And the pavlova, but we didn't have this the second time, did we?
No, well, you didn't.
I mean,
I didn't have the pavlova. It's not the little bit of ginger there is what they brought me when they realised I wasn't eating anything and said, "Eat the ginger; it will make you feel better."
but all you could do was lick the ginger at that point.
Yeah, I really want to eat it. To be fair, they give you, and they brought it up to the room afterwards, didn't they, with a piece of
did.
apple for
They
me.
did. Now, this is the second time we went.
So take
When,
2.
when you're well, and I was like, oh. And, well, you had the duck.
I tried the duck to start with this time.
Yes.
Not as much bread left this time, you will notice, because I ate something. You had the beet salad.
It was lovely. Very light. Lovely.
The restaurant itself is really nice. It feels like you're in a really good posh restaurant.
At this point, they know us very well.
They do. They're having a good chat with us and commenting that it's nice to see that I do occasionally eat. Which, why they doubted that looking at the size of me, I don't know. It's not like I don't know.
Oh, look, you all smart again.
So, I'm in the jacket and shirt today.
Yeah.
And this was the first full forkful of food I'd actually had
in this restaurant. Yeah.
And the seats are lovely. It's not.
They put us in a lovely booth this night again.
They did. The first night I didn't appreciate the booth as much, given I could see the waves. You got your onion rings again there, and your
so
truffle
good.
fries.
And we got the steak platter for two.
We did. We didn't get the extra of the big garlic prawns that we got on the first night, which you said were really good.
Yeah, but
you weren't bothered enough to pay the
No.
extra $10, $10, I think. To
upcharge. It was supplement for the prawns.
Yeah.
But look at that. Oh.
The steaks were cooked perfectly. It is the classic as a steakhouse, but as you'll see in a second, it has really good seafood as well.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of.
It's a steak and seafood, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the rib that I'm just trying here, you loved because it was coffee crusted.
Yeah, which I adored. You said it was nice.
I said it was nice, but I'm not as big a coffee fan.
Now this was the dessert that you would
The greatest dessert in the history of desserts anywhere on the planet.
You loved this.
And if you honestly think you have had a better dessert, please tell me where and when, because we need to try it. They come through. There's a full presentation.
This is the rum bar, isn't it?
We will do a full video on the Verandah restaurant and the experience at some point in the future, because we've got about a 5-minute presentation. What they do then, a story about it, and you select. Do you want a single shot of rum or a double shot of rum? Oh my god, it was so good. And even your apple pie were great, wasn't it?
I know, but I did have rum bar envy.
And it's ruined all. I can't ever have a rum barber anywhere ever again.
No, I don't think you can. I think
it's ruined.
Oh, this was the third night we went.
So this was take 3. This was the second gala night, but we knew the weather was good. We had checked in advance. And they actually moved us into this because the Lido restaurant had cancelled.
This is 1920s was the theme, wasn't it?
So they rang us up. The Lido one would have only been 25. They upgraded us to this for free, and any of the extras we got, like the seafood platter, which would have been an extra $30.
They didn't charge us.
They comped us for it as well.
I don't know if it's just because we basically lived in this restaurant that they were so kind.
No, they said it was because of the inconvenience of having the cheaper restaurant cancel and going to this one, of which I was like, yeah, that's fine.
That's fine, but we knew everybody in there. Lovely Marianne, Brian.
Yeah, a big shout out to Marianne, who was our waitress for a huge chunk of it, and Brian, who was the maitre d', the restaurant manager. And this was a cheesecake that they make freshly for 2. And it was the thickest cheesecake we've ever had. It was so good.
We were meant to go and see a show at this point, but because of that cheesecake, we kind of had a nightcap and went to bed.
We're like, no, we're full. And that's the end of the video, Linz.
We loved it.
We did. We've given it a 9 out of 10.
We are going to book again when Queen Anne is released in May.
We are. The only criticism that I've got for it is it would be nice for it to have a couple more specialty restaurants and maybe a little bit more diversity, like a sushi or Japanese or something.
I get why they don't know with the Queen's Grill and the...
Yeah, you've got other stuff in there.
Yeah, but thank you for watching.
Thank you, and cheers, Linz.
Cheers. Oh, and have a lovely day.